So moving on to Michael R. of Easton, Pennsylvania. And I'm going to do this one out of order because I did ask him to let me know what it was like to be in a swing state. He lives in Pennsylvania, which, as we all know, this time was the swing state. All play is on Pennsylvania. Everybody guard that base. Hi, Dave. It was truly bothersome. The daily barrage of mailings, phone calls, and text messages was insane. I wasn't even thinking of text messages. Can you imagine opening your phone? You must have had the same experience of you're used to getting this many text messages, and suddenly you're getting a lot from your good buddy Donald and your good buddy Camilla. Especially the last week, all that money wasted. It seems that all of the advertising money could have been put to better use. There wasn't much of the grassroots at our home. At least we weren't aware of it. Grace and I both work. That's a good point. If you're out of the house, you're not going to get as many door knockers as the people who are at home during the day. The Lehigh Valley seemed like it was the epicenter in Pennsylvania. We both work about a mile from Lehigh Valley Airport, where all the candidates land and use one of the main arteries, Route 22, to visit, rally, and campaign. This backed up and blocked the most convenient way of travel for us while at work and sometimes going home. We both kept away from watching the goings-on, but it was every day. The billboards and the little placards filled up the highways and many of the homes. Even every commercial break, it got to the point of so much bad-mouthing that I didn't even know who was running against who anymore. There was grumblings at work as to if this candidate wins or if that candidate wins, that it would be the end of everything we all know and love. I'm pretty sure life will go on as you choose to live it, the way everyone has been with all prior and future elections. I wasn't stressed about, I asked if he was stressed about the election or the outcome. What I usually stress about is being able to go to work in my advancing age doing, missing his page. Where's your next page here, Michael? Sorry, I've been shifting through these. There we are. What I usually stress about being able to go to work in my advancing age, doing the same job as someone much younger could do with relative ease. What I stress about is having enough saved so I don't have to worry when I can't work anymore. I'm not Tom Brady, where I can retire at a relatively young age. I can't go on the disabled list and get paid my wage. I get hurt and have and continue to do my best. I stress about having the great health coverage that I have working while not paying through the roof premiums. This was an interesting part. I voted the same way since I was able to vote. I vote right down the line for my team. 39 years. I haven't changed. I probably won't. So there's no swaying my decision. This was literally a waste of time for me with all the advertising. I'm glad it's over. Fingers crossed to go back to normal. And then I asked if there was any billboards that struck him as good, win, lose, or draw. He said the best billboard I thought was a smiling Kamala Harris with the caption, quote, "You can't fix stupid," unquote. And I'm sitting here going, was that a Trump ad or was that a Harris ad? Because you could kind of see that one both ways. Abortion was another one that was a big topic. I don't believe that any government should decide on something of destroying a life. I think it should be a woman's decision, just as us. If a woman has the right of abortion, what is the physician's right to, quote, saving lives, unquote. Or pharmaceutical companies making a pill to abort life. Is it ethical or just plain greed? I am really out of line with this remark. I don't have a vagina, so I may be wrong about all my comments. No, however many millions of people disagree with you, there's another many millions of people that agree with you and don't think you're going far enough, and the other ones think you've gone way too far. We just have to get used to the fact that people have very, very, very different opinions. My personal opinion is I do like the fact that it's gone to the state level, that it is possible to live. If you are completely anti-abortion, you can now go and live in a state where it's compatible with your viewpoint. And if you're somebody who vehemently believes in a woman's right to choose as an absolute, hey, you got no shortage of states to pick from there. And from what I understand, there's a lot of pro-choice states that are financing trips to clinics, and I think that's legitimate as well. It's like if they won't have an abortion in this state, we'll help you come over here. Don't worry yourself about that. He writes, illegals and borders. I lock my doors to my house. I think the government should have a better way to, quote, invite, unquote, people to come and stay legally. I love this one, taxing the rich. Every time a politician wants to tax the rich, Jeff Bezos increases my Amazon Prime subscription. I believe that taxing the rich somehow comes down to increased taxes on the middle class. It always just gets passed along. I don't want to offend anyone with my thoughts. It's just my wacky way of looking at life around me. And very, very good. I appreciated that, Michael. That was exactly the kind of thing that I was looking for. And sorry if Dave Sim crossed a line in the hearing of anybody by provoking Michael into saying what he said. So
you had asked Michael and me, because we both live in swing states, and I kind of avoided it, that living in an apartment, there were no door knockers because they can't get in the building.
Okay, right.
Signs is one of those weird things. The Trump people really need you to see that they really like Trump. And, like, I pick up the kids from school, and I pick up Natasha first because she gets out slightly earlier, and she has to wait at school. Janice has a friend that lives across the street from school, so she can go to her friend's house until I pick her up. So I pick Natasha up, and then I got to drive 3 blocks to get Janice. And there's one house that they had a really big Trump sign. And it was on the lawn, kind of, sort of, next to the house. And I figured out that it was near the property line because after about a week, the neighbor had a Kamala Harris sign. And I'm like, okay, obviously they don't get along because of how the signs are positioned, because they're right near the property line. And,
right.
Close to each other. And a couple days goes by, and the Trump sign is replaced with a bigger Trump sign so that you can't see the Harris sign. And then the Harris sign moves a little closer to the street. And then the Trump sign gets...
You're not kidding. I can tell you're not kidding.
The Trump sign gets a second Trump sign, and then a Trump flag. And on the flag, it's Donald Trump's head superimposed on Sylvester Stallone's body from Rambo 2. Holding the machine gun.
Oh, my God.
And then the Harris people get a bunch of other Democrats that are running signs. And then the Trump sign person gets a second Trump flag. And over the course of a month or two, I see this every day as I'm driving past, and I'm going, I kind of wonder how trick-or-treating is going to go in that neighborhood.
Well, if you want to talk about an engaged populace, though, and we do complain about people are not getting engaged in the political process. They're maybe not getting engaged the way you want them to, but boy, some of them are getting engaged with a capital E.
The other thing that happened was that I was getting text messages, but I wasn't getting a lot. Every now and then one would come in, and I'd be like, okay, whatever, and delete it. Well, then I started getting notifications that I got a text message, but it automatically got moved to my spam and blocked folder, and I'm like, well, sometimes good messages get, the algorithm goes, hey, this isn't a number we know, it's got to go and get quarantined. And so I'll look at them, and they were all political. And there were a lot of them, so I deleted them. And then the next day I got a message, and I opened it up, and yeah, it's another political one. And that's when I decided to be mad about it. And instead of just deleting them or ignoring them, I decided that I'm going to respond. And, all the messages say if you want to opt out, reply stop, and they'll stop bothering you. But I'm not going to do that because, no, I want them to figure out, hey, let's just leave them alone. So I started responding to every single message. Didn't matter which political party, didn't matter what, if it was just telling me where I voted, blah, 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 with the exact same phrase. And I typed it enough that my autocorrect I could just had to type the first half of the first word, and it would do, I could just, the autocorrector would pop up with everything. And the message was...
And it said...
Confucius say gay dinosaur is Megasaurus. It's a puerile, juvenile joke that it popped into my head, and I went, that's the perfect response, because it doesn't mean anything. It's not political. It could be construed as being political, but no, this is a second grader's joke. The kid hears this on the playground, and it's the funniest thing he ever heard, and he says it to somebody, and eventually gets told, hey, you can't make jokes like that, and that's how you learn that there's some jokes you can say on the playground, and some jokes you can say in class, but some jokes you can't say both. And 99% of the time I responded with that, and I never heard anything back. And one response came through of, what do you call a nearsighted dinosaur? Betty can't see a saurus. Or something.
Yeah.
I may have screwed it up, but it was something along those lines. And I went, okay, so 90% of these they're robots. They're sending, they get the number, they send the message, and then unless they get stopped, they don't care. But this one was an actual person, and okay, but they left me alone after that. I mean,
that's good. Yeah.
Years ago, there was a Time article where it was the cover story, and it was about the cost of the presidential election, and the image was the White House, and it was a for sale sign in front of it, and the cost was $2.5 billion. And apparently, because that, whatever election that was, that's what the candidates were spending apiece. And I'm going, there's got to be a better use for all that money.
Yeah. Even a fraction of that money.
I mean, Paul and I got, I want to say, a dozen flyers, all, large size postcards of, the one side would be whatever political thing, but the flip side was, it was Trump, a picture of Trump going, you can do early voting and mail-in voting, and you just got to get it in by the 5th, and, going on and on about how you can vote early, and I'm going, well, that's a bit of a different opinion, because in 2020 he was all mail-in voting as a fraud, and apparently now his team has went, oh no, we can actually use this. And the first one was okay, yeah, fine, and this by the third or fourth one I'm like, they're all different, but they all say the exact same things, and I'm going, okay, we got it, you want me to vote. I understand the concept. At this point, you're sending out how many of these stupid flyers? It's like you're probably paying nickels a piece, but still, if you send out a dozen just to one person, multiply that by the population of my state, and I'm going, this is, insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
Imagine
but
if
they also know that works, that a physical postcard coming in and a repeated message. They've got all of that factored down to this is how many times you got to do it to get that result. You're quite right that the Democrats kicked the Republicans' asses with the early voting in 2020. Go ahead.
Well, I just, my thing is, if they took half of the money they spent on the campaign and gave it to the needy, we're gonna instead of sending out postcards, we're just going to set up a soup kitchen in a poor area and feed everybody. That's the part where I'm like, you're spending $2.5 billion to get a government job. Like, it doesn't pay you that much in 4 years. I think the president makes like $100,000 a year, and even that I think is. I mean, I understand. You're giving up a lucrative career as whatever you are to be president, but still, it's you're spending 50 or 25 times the amount of money that you're going to get in, or actually I think it's 250 times the amount of money you're going to make a year. Like, no one is going to go after a job that badly.
Yeah,